Welcome to the first show of Friday, April the 17th, the 16th, I'm sorry. This is the Predictive Playbook. I'm your host, John Ryan. And we have proven winners, PDUB, a.k.a. Scott. For those that know him, he has a big following on Twitter. He's been at this a long time. He's located in Las Vegas. So he's in touch with the pulse of the sports betting world in a big way. So PDUB, and I'm dying to know how that came about, but welcome to the show. I'm
Sure.
glad that you had time to visit with me today and chat a little bit about sports. How's everything going?
Things are good, man. Business is good. Results have been good. Life's good. So I got no complaints. So I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, my pleasure.
I'm excited about what you're doing. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool what you're doing.
Well, appreciate you saying that. It's motivating because when you get people interested in what you're doing, it does make you even more motivated than you were the previous day or the previous week. So you're absolutely right with that. But take a few minutes here. I'll give you the mic and tell us how this all came to pass for you. We all have different stories of how we got to this point. So I'd like to the listeners and myself to learn more about your journey.
Sure, man. Sure. So I started sports betting at a very, very young age, even before, I think it was around 17, 18. Indian casinos obviously didn't have sports books, but that got me into gambling. Originally, my pops, he had a bookie back in the day, and I remember him writing down his bets in his books, and I would see a lot of L's, And we used to talk sports. I played college baseball. I grew up playing sports, so me and my dad, we used to have conversations about, gambling or betting or who he was going to take and things like that. And I really love math too. So the odds and the gambling really interest me and spiked my interest at a young age. So I always paid attention to what he was doing. Although he wasn't very successful at it, I thought I could be very successful at it. And so I started doing it at a young age and was very unsuccessful at it out of the gate. And as you know, this is not an easy thing to do. So it's not like a light switch where one day you just think you can be successful at sports betting. So through some trials and tribulations and many years of losing, maybe in my college days, I figured out how to win, and using math and using analytics and using systems and understanding how to really, hit at a percentage that is reasonable, right? The public thinks that handicappers should hit, some people 70%, 80%. It's not doable. 57% is a professional. And I strive at hitting that number each and every year in every sport. And it's been a long journey for me, but I'm very, very confident in what I do these days. I started out, not on social media, in the sports book, grinding, getting clients that way, having conversations the old way, texting, and building my business that way before I got into social media. And then social media has really taken off my business. I've been on social media about 3 years. 19,000 followers on Instagram, about 6,000 followers on Twitter. And that really took me to another level in terms of the business side of things. And so I'm really thankful for social media and I take it very seriously. I have, pretty good infrastructure as far as a graphics guy and things like that to ensure that I produce quality content out there so I can be competitive in the industry. So hopefully that gives you a little background of where I came from and kind of where I'm at today.
No, it's all tremendous. Really, really good. And you're right about the content quality. It's got to be, I don't want to say corporate-like, but it has to be at the top level. Otherwise, you look like a guy that's doing it part-time or fly-by-night or whatever. And most importantly, I'm glad you brought up the 57% because that has always been my season goal to hit, with the exception of baseball and NHL, which are money line sports, and I play a lot more dogs, and I'm sure you do too. In those two sports, especially baseball, where you can, I've had years where I went 47%, and profit-wise was one of the biggest of all the 26 years I've been doing it. But you hear anybody say that they're hitting 70% for a season, and you're in week 14 of the NFL, I would suggest running. Because it just if you don't believe me, take a look at the Westgate Super Contest, where guys have to pick 5 sides each week, and the winner is usually around 65%, 64%, and that's because everything went their way. They didn't lose by the hook. They won all the ones by the hook, and there was a lot of fortuitous results to get even to that level. But anyway, enough of that. Why don't we move on to the NBA? Because I know there's a game that you're targeting in the NBA. So tell us who it is.
So we got Knicks at Mavs tonight. Is my free play, and so I do a free play most days. I would say 5 to 6 days out of the week I do a free play. I do that for a couple of reasons. I'm very transparent with the public. I do it to grow my brand, right? And so if I can produce free winners at a high rate and people start to trust me, then they will sign up, for a premium package. Also, people that don't want to sign up for a premium package, it also helps grow my brand just on social media and things of that nature. So I am focused on usually, and to be honest, I focus on a later NBA game every day. Again, transparency, a televised game as well, because the public likes to watch what they bet. And so I focus and try to dive into that. Now, free picks are not always premium picks for me. If there's not enough value there, I may send it out for free, but I don't send it to my premium players because obviously I'm only sending the very, very highest value plays to my team. But for tonight, we've got Knicks at Mavs. I believe the line's 5.5. I don't know what the total. Are you looking at the total? I'm not playing the total.
Yeah, let me. I'll share the screen here, and we can see the odds. I use wagertalk.com /odds for what that's worth. But that's let's share the screen here quick. All right, can everybody see that? Here, I'll enlarge it a little bit.
Cool.
So we had down here we have rotation 553, 554. New York at the Mavs, as you said, opened at 4.5 in favor of Dallas. Dallas is up to now 5.5. Not surprised by that. 64% of the tickets so far on New York, but only 50% of the money. So it looks like there's
Sharp.
Yeah, a little sharp steam move here going on from 4.5 to 5.5 for sure.
So yeah, I've actually played the Knicks in their previous 2 road games. I played them on Monday night, and I played them on Wednesday night. Both winners. I took them Monday night, and on the money line, and they won that game. And then I took them on Wednesday as well, plus 2.5. And I believe they pull out the victory as well. So I'm gonna fade the Knicks tonight. All right, they're on a road streak. I like the Mavs at home. The Mavs are healthy tonight. Porzingis and Luka are both playing. They don't have any major injuries. I like the 5.5 against the best NBA defensive team in the league tonight. I think the Knicks are going to have some trouble with the Mavs tonight, and I think the Mavs will be able to put up some points, even though they are the number 1 defensive team in the league. And if they're able to put up 110 points tonight, I think they cover the spread and cover it relatively easy. So I'll be taking the Mavs and laying the chalk tonight, 5.5. Kind of going from there. So
yeah, for the people out there in the chat room that are listening now or later in the day, with the steam move kind of happening here, would you recommend that if you like Dallas, you would go to the window sooner rather than later? Or do you think there will be a little bit of buyback at some point? Just your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I already put my bet in. I got it in at a 5, but I recommend you getting in now. I think that line will continue to grow, or at least stay at 5.5. I don't see that dropping back down. I think the steam and the sharp side is going to remain on Dallas, and I think the books will respond to that, and it may even pop up to 6. So I do recommend you getting your bet in now if you're going to ride with me on Dallas minus 5.5.
Yeah, for what it's worth, I'm on the same side as you, and I see it as a double-digit win. It's Dallas is playing at a pretty good level right now once again, and the Knicks are always a question mark in my mind of how they're going to perform even week to week. And
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
interesting,
they
go ahead.
they show up defensively night in, night out. Their effort level is usually top notch. It's just, are they going to be able to hit the 3, right? And so they are a question, offensive question, obviously, night in and night out. And I just feel like Dallas is kind of clicking on all cylinders, coming in with that momentum. Did you see Luka hit that 3 to Was that
Sick.
Wednesday night? Ridiculous to win the game.
And that, yeah, that was awesome because it wasn't awesome for the people that were betting under though,
Yeah,
because I took it over the total. You know, it was kind of I don't know if that was a bad beat or not. I think that game was heading over no matter what. But to see Grayson miss 2 free throws when he's hitting 90% for the season, and then that, I mean, that was, I mean, you just don't see that.
yeah. There's no
That
way.
was that was a crazy ending.
It's crazy ending. Absolutely insane. To be honest, I was watching the game and I turned it off. I actually had Dallas, and I had once Allen got fouled. Obviously, I don't see him missing 2 free throws, right?
No,
So I figure he makes both games over. But just an unbelievable finish. Luka does some amazing things at the end of the game. It's just amazing. That shot, the difficulty of that shot in that moment is unbelievable. So.
oh, it is. When I saw it live, it actually looked like he was at such an angle he couldn't even get his eyes to see the rim.
Right.
And then in slow motion, you saw that he could, but still, I mean, to have all that momentum going towards the rim, I mean, go out and try that sometime. The guys that are listening in here, go in your driveway and try to do, basically your whole body weight going towards the rim and throw up a three.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
It is.
But yeah, we'll ride that momentum into tonight, and we'll lay the chalk. And I see Dallas coming out a winner, like you said, double digit plus. So get to the window now, get it in on your online book, and let's cash together.
Yeah, sounds great. Anything in baseball you want to talk about? Anything going on in there?
So actually, I mean, baseball favorites have been rough this start.
Yeah, they have.
Wow, there's been a lot of underdogs. The Braves just got swept. Or actually, the Braves pulled out the game 4. So, excuse me. But they lost their first 3 games at home to the Marlins. The Astros got swept by the Tigers. I mean, these are big favorites laying 250. And they're getting swept at home. And it's been an interesting early season to watch. I'm collecting a lot of data, right? And kind of laying off the MLB a little bit just early season, just because the inconsistencies, and these dogs are really pulling through. Pittsburgh just beat, they just beat the Padres. So it's been an interesting start to the MLB season. I'll tell you that. Besides the Dodgers, really, there's been no consistency from these top level teams.
Well, it's good you brought the Dodgers up. This is a kind of a season-long question. I've been putting this thought together, and you can tell me whether I'm on the right track or maybe I'm on the wrong track, and that's fine too. And that's what our shows are all about, and you know it better than anybody else. We're here to make ourselves better and make the listeners better, betters, make you more aware of some of the stuff that guys like us look at.
Right.
So in this particular case, we have the Dodgers playing, as I look at the board here, playing the Padres. And in my opinion, the Padres are the team that really has the pieces there that might be able to make things a little bothersome for the Dodgers to win the West. With the public enamored with the Dodgers, I'm seeing some of these lines get pretty well inflated. Tonight we have Bueller against Weathers. The Dodgers are on the road at San Diego. It opened at -170. It's been quickly priced down, though, to -150, -145 at the Westgate and Circa right now. And that actually reflects what I'm thinking, is that if I bet the Padres every single game in this series, I'm thinking I'll come out ahead. And even if they don't win the season series against the Dodgers, I have a better chance of making money with San Diego playing them every single game. And if I win 40% of the games, I'm probably going to come out pretty far ahead. So do you see any holes in that theory?
I really don't, right? I have a hard time playing. I mean, I have a hard time, laying 275. Was it 275 last night against the Rockies? They came back and beat them. They actually covered the spread as well. They won 7-5.
The Dodgers face the Padres at
But
10 p.m.
It's amazing. I just can't. They're going to win 105 games, 100 plus games. And I'm not laying the chalk every night. I just have a hard time betting them. And some of my clients ask me, Dodgers never lose. Why don't you bet them? It's like, well, I got to win 3 games, right?
That's right.
3 out of 4 games to break even here, So it's like, I don't want to, they're not going to win 3 out of every 4 games. I mean, I guess they could. I guess what is that? If they win 100 games, that's 100. Yeah, you're going to lose money betting the Dodgers all year, right? In my opinion.
Yep,
So,
I would think so.
Right.
Yep.
So, in my opinion, your theory is correct. I'd rather bet against the Dodgers almost every night, and you're probably going to come out profitable.
Yeah, we'll track it over the weekend since it's our first show together, and we get back together on whenever your next available time is, Monday or Tuesday. We'll review that and see how that series ends up.
Because if you think about it, the Dodgers, they're going to lose 55, 60 games, right? And you're going to get a plus 180, I don't know, 175 average on these dogs. So
probably, at least if you factor in the home games, when
Right.
they play Colorado at home, it's going to be, it could be minus 400.
It's true. So that's what I'm saying.
So
on the dog side, you're going to get plus 175, maybe plus 200. So, I mean, you get some good odds there. So it's an interesting theory. The public's not going to like that theory, right? People want to win more games than they lose, but they don't understand the math side of things, right?
Yep.
It may feel like you're winning when you win 2 out of 3 games, but you're actually not profitable, right? And so
Yep.
it's just that education piece for a lot of these novice bettors and getting them to understand that as sports betting becomes legal in all these states, most recently in Arizona, was it earlier this week? So
Yeah, but the news of the Phoenix Suns and FanDuel is pretty big stuff too, I think.
it's huge. I mean,
Yep.
having these sports book in the arenas, I mean, is just everyone, I mean, not everyone, but a very high percentage is going to have a bet on the game in the arena. And just imagine how much sports betting is going to grow because of this. I mean, people are going to want to go to the games even more. I mean, everyone likes to have a little, or most people, if you're interested in sports betting, you want to have something riding on the game. And so it's just going to the buzz for sports betting is just be growing so rapidly. And I also live in Southern California, so I'm waiting for sports betting to become legal in California. I do have a runner in Vegas and things like that, so I can get I can easily get my bets in, but when I'm in California. But I can't wait till it's legal here.
Yeah, I always remember Al Michaels on Monday night, kidding around that, this game is over. And you knew he was implying the over the total.
Yeah.
So, imagine, the kneel downs where the home team is going to not cover by a point and they're on the opponent's 10-yard line. That's, I think, where it's going to be pretty fun to and entertaining to watch. Basketball games are in a closed arena. That could be even, louder. This is kind of like taking the, like in Philadelphia, I know they have, if the opponent misses 2 foul shots, I think you get a Wendy's French fry or something the next day. So imagine, if there's money on the line now instead of French fries. The crowd is going to be so engaged into the game. I can't even imagine.
Well, think about this. Most blowouts, right, in a fourth quarter in an NBA game, people are leaving the stadium. Not anymore. Right? Because
that's a very good point.
Right? Because nobody's leaving the game early.
Yep.
And so that may, I don't know if that's going to increase. Well, it's obviously going to increase revenue because of the betting, but it could increase revenue because of, I don't know, food purchases or drink purchases because people are wait until the end of the game. And so that's another avenue they could create some extra revenue inside the arenas. But yeah, people will not be leaving any game early anymore because of the total or the spread. It's going to be pretty cool. And in these blowout games, the crowd's going to be going wild down to the last second. I mean, honestly, if it's close to the total, like last night I had
You're
the total,
right.
Like last night was a perfect example. In Phoenix, I had the total in the Suns-Kings game, over 234.5. It was the live line was trending in the mid 240s the entire game, slow fourth quarter, and we get a bucket with 17 seconds left, meaningless bucket by the Kings to put it at 236, and we hit it. We were at 234. And so imagine the crowd going crazy on either side of that, and then they dribble the clock out at the end of the game, right? And so puts it over the total. It's just a perfect example, actually, in Phoenix of people going crazy down to the wire. So should be
I just was you got me thinking here because I can see in the near future a home Jets game where they're 14-point underdogs and the crowd goes wild like they won the game because they just got the backdoor cover. You know,
funny.
I think that's going to be a riot.
The mentality is going to change.
Yep.
Money changes everything. So the mentality is definitely going to change, and people will be they'll still be diehard fans, but they'll be less concerned about the outcome of the game and more concerned about the outcome of the spread.
Yep. That's very cool. So lastly, where can people find you, and are you running any specials, whatever you want to plug for yourself right now? The stage is yours. And
Sure. So you can find me on Instagram at Proven Winner. You can find me on Twitter at Proven Winners with an S, Proven Winners. And then my website is provenwinner.net. I run different specials every day. I try to try different things to appeal to the market. I do some crazy things. So I really try to feel out the market. So I'll give you an example. Like I'll run an NBA guarantee 6-0, or you get a week free. And so it will be 3 straight bets and 3 parlays. And really what it is it's 3 straight bets, and I round robin the 3 parlays. And right, they don't take all 6 bets, but I do different things to appeal to the public and try to get them to try my brand. And that's really, like I said, I'm super transparent about all of my marketing strategies and everything that I do. And so I try different things. And so I'm really here to really try to set myself apart and do different things. I show my face. I love that you show your face. And that has been relatively non-existent. I know Wager Talk and who you're with now, they all show their face, which is great, and come with the older crowd guys. But the new era, right? All you see is an avatar. Everyone's hiding behind the screen. And I really want to get to know my clients. I spend a lot of time on DMs, direct messages, speaking to them, even on losing days, and talking through them with bankroll management and things like that. I really want to create a relationship with my team members. I think it is important. I think it is a lost art because I take it very seriously. These people that trust me are betting their hard-earned money. They go to work, they go to their 9 to 5, they love to bet sports, but maybe they're not successful at it themselves, so they find a handicapper. And so if they're going to reach out and trust me, the least that I can do, right, as their so-called leader, right, or their advisor, is to converse with them, right, even on losing days, and try to make them better. And it's not only about tailing what I'm telling them to do, but it's about bankroll management. Because just because we send out plays, John, doesn't mean that they're not going to take their own plays, right? And so that's what they're in control of. And so just educating them when they do take their plays, right? If you need some action on your own, do a $10 parlay, right? Don't go and risk 500 on your own game if you're not confident, right? Take my plays. If you need your own action, just do a small risk parlay so you're not ruining your bankroll, right? And so I have a specific system. I use 1 to 10 units. We risk a 0.5% of our bankroll on every unit. And so that's kind of what we use. An average play for us is 2.5% of our bankroll. And so that's kind of our system. And I really think bankroll management is the biggest important piece to being a successful sports bettor. Obviously,
that is well said. And I'm glad this is recorded because nobody I've ever heard. It was like you were, speaking how I do things too. And I was on Wall Street when I first started this. I was in charge of crude oil trading and currency on the institutional side. And one day, one of our crude oil traders said to me, because I was starting to build neural nets, it was the first back propagation models, that came out. And he said, "Why don't you take those models and apply them to sports?" And I remember looking at him like, you're a jerk. I mean, there's no, I'm not going to find anything. Well, here I am. And, 26 years later, I can honestly say the motivation was because back in the mid 90s, late 90s, the industry, and unfortunately it's really not much better, was, filled with, guys saying they had locker room information, bet everything you own on this game and make your girlfriend happy. And I just could not believe Saturday mornings on TV and people were buying into it. And I thought, you know what? To your point, I'm going to try to make it honest, fully transparent, and I'm going to show that 57% is one hell of a season. and not 80%.
100%.
I like how you said, like, even on losing days, and I think that's why I'm here for 26 years, is that I even emphasize the losing days more, that, it's going to happen. And I kind of kid around, like being the dog or the fire hydrant, and you want to be the dog more than the fire hydrant, obviously, but there's going to be days where you're going to be an enormous fire hydrant, and there's nothing you can do about it. I had a 10-unit play on the Sixers slot the other night. 22 with 8 minutes to go and don't cover. It happens, and that's why we don't hit 70 and 80%. But I really like how you describe that, and for anybody that's listening, I fully endorse Scott, the founder of Proven Winner here, and he's definitely a guy. Right out of the chute, I can tell you that he's trustworthy, and he's not going to let you down. He's not going to steer you down a hole where it's all fabricated, crap. It's going to be absolute top-notch stuff. So make sure you visit that website.
And really, honestly, I mean, I feel like our industry is somewhat, dirty, so to speak, right? And I'm just trying to, as you are, knowledgeable, fresh face, honesty, integrity, transparency, trying to bring that back to the game. And build, a true business that benefits people and, educates them on this is an investment, sports investment, just like you're investing in the stock market, the same idea. It's going to go like this, right? But at the end of a month or end of 6 months, however that long, your returns are going to be there, right? And so, but you have to have that mentality, because this is a very emotional game, and it will get the best of you if you can't keep your emotions in check. So,
very true.
Yeah, so that's my best advice to the public. But I appreciate you having me on your show. I know we're at our
absolutely
time slot, and I hope to come back again. And
just let me know.
Let's cash tonight, huh?
Yep, you got it.
-5.5. And John, you have a good rest of your day, and we'll chat soon.
You got it. So for Proven Winner, myself and the Predictive Playbook, may all the wins be yours.
Thanks, John.